welcome to the Full-Circle Reboot series. Full-Circle Reboot, or FCR for short, is one of the health coaching programs offered by Mingled Vitality. And to show you what it can do for you, I'm going to take myself through it and show you my progress. FCR is a 12-week program with weekly sessions based on Health Coach Institute's wildly successful 90-day program. It targets various areas of your life, teaching you how to eat mindfully, manage stress, and set and achieve fulfilling goals. It's a great program for getting yourself more in tune with your body and mind. To get started, we first need to establish my baseline, what kind of lifestyle and physical characteristics I have. Let's start with the lifestyle side. When it comes to what I eat, I pretty much cook about 3 times a week, usually 1 vegetarian dish, 1 poultry dish, and 1 beef dish. I've also started eating some kind of fruit in the morning, and I eat 3 times a day, every single day, about the same time, and I eat out about twice a week. In terms of my digestion, I have a fairly normal GI tract, meaning that I don't have any obvious food allergies, but it does get irritated whenever I eat fast food or processed food. At night, I usually set aside 8 hours for sleep, but I probably only actually get about 7 because I like to use my phone for about an hour before I actually close my eyes. And it's usually not the most restful sleep, so I wake up once or twice or sometimes 3 times or more a night. And I almost always feel tired around 2 to 3 p.m. And tend to need naps almost daily, usually for about 2 hours. I exercise about once or twice a week on average, and it's usually light exercise like yoga or dance. Although I have recently started running twice a week, where I get about 6 minutes of actual running time and 22 minutes of walking time, including a warm-up and a cool-down. So it's definitely not enough, and it's not a very balanced regimen yet. And in terms of my endurance, I get winded pretty easily, and my strength is so low that I have trouble like opening jars, and I have to do modified push-ups, stuff like that. I do have a few medical conditions. So I've got 3 mental illnesses that I've been diagnosed with. That's anxiety, depression, and ADD. And the ADD is not very severe. And then physical conditions, I have fatigue, likely a result of having anxiety and depression. And I also have hypoglycemia, but I've been able to manage that pretty well by eating at about the same time every day and keeping my meals pretty consistent. Another baseline that I want to establish is my attitude, because yes, that does need to change. Fortunately, I'm very honest with myself, and I'm always willing to acknowledge my flaws. So I'm just going to put it out there that I tend to be very pessimistic and defeatist, so I get easily irritated and frustrated and want to give up on stuff pretty easily. So what I want to do is I want to build more grit and gratitude. The last baseline that I want to talk about are my hobbies, and this one's really short, but basically I have a lot of things that I want to be doing, I'm just not doing them. And I want to be doing hobbies that will fulfill me and educate me. Okay, so now let's talk about my physical traits. My weight is about 130 pounds, give or take about 2 to 3 pounds. My body tone, I don't really have any muscle tone. It's all loose, it's all jiggly. Upper arms measure about 10.5 inches around the thickest part. Lower arms about 9 inches around the thickest part. My waist is about 29 inches. My belly, from the part that protrudes the most, is 34.5 inches. My thighs are 20.5 inches around the biggest part, and calves are 14.25 inches. As you can see, I'm pretty average for the most part, except that I have less energy than most people that I know. So of course, one thing I'd really like to see by the end of this program is an increase in the amount of energy that I have. I would also like to see my body develop some muscle tone and lose a little bit of fat around the belly. Lastly, I want to learn more about various subjects, namely health, language, inspirational people, and history. To make these things happen, I'm going to set some clearly outlined goals. Goal number 1 is to develop a workout plan that gives me a balance of cardio, strength training, and stretching. I've already been kind of working on this a little bit, so really what's left is testing and tweaking it, figuring out what works best for me, and then sticking to that version of the plan for at least 2 weeks. This will help me tone my muscles and lose fat, and I'm hoping to see it help with my energy levels as well. Goal number 2 is to learn about 5 new things. I don't necessarily want to master these subjects, but I want to dedicate at least 1 hour to researching each of them. Goal number 3 is a business goal, but a goal nonetheless. I want to develop a new health coaching program to offer clients. I do already have an idea of what I'm going to create, but it will take a lot of time and focus to crank out the lesson plans and materials. What will motivate me to work towards these goals is that I want to fight my illnesses and make my body and mind as strong as they can be. I want to see what I can do at my full potential, and eventually I want to build a life where I can own a house, have horses again, and travel. So in summary, fight the illnesses, make myself strong, and live the dream. To remind myself of these motivations, and in turn my goals, I'm going to set 2 anchors, or physical things that I regularly encounter in my environment that I choose to associate with my motivations. These 2 anchors are my engagement ring, whenever I fidget with it, and coffee and tea, whenever I smell or taste them. For the second one, I'll put a note on my Keurig to help me stick the association since I use it every couple of days. The hope is that eventually I'll even associate the smell or taste of coffee or tea at a cafe with my motivations. The absolute last thing I need to do to start Full-Circle Reboot is assign myself some homework for the week. I'll be setting small goals every week that kind of move me toward my bigger goals, because setting and achieving several small goals is a lot more effective in the long run than setting, striving for, and likely failing at a goal that's way too big. So here's my homework for the week. Number 1, I will connect with my anchors and make sure they get stuck in my brain. Number 2, I need to clear the clutter from a part of my life in order to make way for the new me. So I'm going to organize my email and delete all of the spam. Number 3, I will spend at least 1 hour learning about meal prepping. Check in next week to see how I did. In the meantime, be sure to subscribe to this channel with the notifications turned on, and follow Mingled Vitality on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter so you'll be sure to know as soon as the next video comes out. Thank you for visiting my citrusy sanctuary. Peace out.